Tucked away deep in the Himalayas, landlocked between the world's two largest countries, is the small kingdom of Bhutan, the land of the dragons. Boasting the world's happiest people and surrounded by natural beauty, this nation of less than 1 million people remains a mystery to most of the world. While I was in this region of the world, I decided to check it out for myself. I booked a 3-day tour of the country with Flying Fox Tours. On day 1, we explored Thimphu. Day 2, we went over the Dochula Pass to Punakha. On my 3rd day, we hiked a few hours up to Bhutan's most famous historic site, Tiger Monastery. I also planned my trip around attending the nation's colorful cultural festival, Paro Tsechu. This was the final day of my tour in Bhutan, and here's how it went.
Good morning, guys. It's my 3rd and final day here in Bhutan, and the last couple days we've been exploring Thimphu, and then yesterday we went to Punakha Valley over the Dochula Pass, and it was beautiful. But today is the day I'm looking forward to the most. Here in Bhutan, we're going to go up to the famous Tiger Monastery, which is this monastery built up on this cliff, and we have this beautiful hike there. And then today in Paro, we have the Tsechu Paro, which is one of the reasons why I ended up coming to Bhutan this week, is it's this really cool festival with some music, some singing, some dancing. They'll be wearing some really cool cultural masks, and it should be a really cool cultural experience. So we're about to get started here. It's about 7:45 in the morning. We have an hour drive back towards Paro. It should be a beautiful drive. Looks like a very beautiful day, a lot more clear than yesterday. So yeah, let's jump in the car and start this adventure. We just had about an hour and a half drive back through the Paro Valley from Thimphu, and it was just beautiful. We were starting to see a little bit of some of the snow-capped peaks through the clouds here, and then as we were approaching, we could see a little bit of the Tiger's Nest Monastery. And so we just got to the base of the hike here, and we're at about 2,300 meters, and we're gonna hike up to about 3,000 meters. And it's about a 3-mile hike, so we have about 1,400 feet of elevation gain. So it's going to take about 2 hours approximately to get up there, but really looking forward to just hiking through some of the forests of Bhutan here. And then as we were driving through the town of Paro below, we started to see so many people dressed so nicely in their best dress for the Tsechu that's going to be happening later this afternoon. So I'm super excited to do this hike. It's one of the top things to do and see here in Bhutan, and then very excited to have the festival this afternoon. So should be a good day. It's about 10 a.m. now, so let's start the hike up to Tiger's Nest. So we've just walked through a little bit of the forest from the parking lot there. And right behind me here, you can see the cliff face that Tiger's Nest Monastery is built on. So that is our objective, is to hike all the way up there. So let's do it. All right, we're just a couple minutes into the hike here, and we're crossing this river here, and there's a couple prayer wheels that are water powered, so they're just constantly spinning and they're ringing a bell, as you can hear, and there's a whole series of these little shrines right here. But beautiful sound echoing through the woods here. After crossing the river here, the steep part begins. So we're hiking straight up the side of this mountain up to the monastery. So yeah, let's go. starting to get some beautiful views of the mountains off here, and we've come to a little shortcut. It's a little bit steeper, but we'll get us there a little bit quicker. So let's take the shortcut. So we've just finished the really steep shortcut here, and it was just really tight, narrow switchbacks the whole way, and you had these beautiful views looking out on the valley, and then every switchback you had this beautiful view of Tiger's Nest just on this opposing cliff face here. So we're at about 2,900 meters, and we have about 100 more meters of elevation gain. So we've done most of the climbing, and we're just gonna have to traverse the sides of these cliffs a little bit to ultimately get there. So we're probably about halfway on the hike so far. Just a little bit past the halfway point here, and we've been hiking for about an hour, and we have this little cafe here. We can get some coffee, tea, a little snack, and you just have this beautiful view looking at the cliff face here, and the Tiger Monastery is right up there. And yeah, it's just this beautiful black rock, and then you can just see the monastery. So we still have a bit of a ways to go because my guide just told me that we have to hike all the way up this hill over here and then down this little ravine and then back up. So we still have a lot of up and down to go. But yeah, should be about less than an hour to get to the Tiger Monastery. Guys, so up from the cafe, it was about a 30-minute hike, and it was actually a lot steeper than I thought, and we've come up above the Tiger's Nest, and you can actually look down on it from this viewpoint, and it's just that iconic view of the Tiger's Nest, and you just get these beautiful mountains off in the distance, and then back the other way here you just get some snow-capped peaks, and yeah, beautiful iconic views of the Tiger's Nest. So from here we'll have to descend back down some stairs and then across this little valley and then back up to the Tiger's Nest. So let's go. So it's just about 12 o'clock, so took just under 2 hours with all the photo stops and stops for views along the way to get to the edge of the Tiger Monastery. And we just came down this little valley here, saw a nice waterfall, a nice little monastery up there, and just beautiful views. So anyways, we're about to head into Tiger Monastery. We can't bring any cameras or bags or anything, so I won't be able to show you guys the inside because it's a sacred place. So anyways, I'm gonna go in and check it out. I'm very excited to see it. Really wish I could show you guys it, but then when I get back, I'll tell you guys a little bit about the history of Tiger Monastery and why it's here. And it's just amazing, the location and how you get here. Just a 2-hour hike up this crazy hill to get to this place. So yeah, let's head in and check it out, and I'll catch you guys after. We just finished our tour of the Tiger's Nest Monastery, and it is just beautiful inside. So many amazing shrines. There's about 4 or 5 shrines in there with the Buddha statues. So a little bit of the history of this place. So in about the 700s AD, Buddha Rinpoche, which was one of the legends here in Bhutan and one of the people that brought Buddhism to Bhutan, there's a legend that there were some demons in the valley here, and so he turned his wife into a tigress, and the tigress flew up and landed up on these cliffs where the monastery is today. And then he battled the demons and then meditated there for 6 months in one of the caves deep in up on these cliffs here. So then in about the 1400s, these monasteries and these buildings were built up here. And it's just amazing to think how they even got the construction materials up the hill, up onto these like sheer cliff faces. And it's still a mystery. They don't know how it was built in the 1400s. And yeah, just such beautiful temples inside. And then you can see some of the caves where he meditated for 6 months. And then in the 1998, actually, most of the monastery was burned down. And so then there was about 6 or 7 years where they had to reconstruct the Tiger Monastery here, and they created cable cars to bring the building materials up to the cliff face here to rebuild the Tiger's Nest Monastery. And yeah, so that's the brief history, but beautiful spot. I really wish I could take you guys inside, but I guess you'll have to come here to Bhutan to see the inside of Tiger Monastery yourself. But such a rewarding hike, coming all the way up here, about 2 hours, and then just seeing the inside and just some of that beautiful architecture up close. So we have about 2 or 3 miles to hike back down to the car park. You can see just the beautiful mountains all around here, the car park, the Paro Valley beneath us below. And so yeah, we'll have about an hour and a half hour hike back down, back to the car, and then we'll head to Paro Valley for the Tsechu later this afternoon. So yeah, let's hike down. We're almost back down to the car park, and it's just a little bit after 2. So it's been about 4 hours up and down, about 6 miles altogether. And we spent about half an hour, 45 minutes just exploring the monastery up there. But beautiful hike. It was just so great to get out into nature here, seeing some of the snow-capped peaks that surround us, smelling the forest, and yeah, just seeing one of Bhutan's greatest historic and heritage sites up there. And we're getting our last glimpse of the Tiger's Nest up there. But yeah, very beautiful. Was super excited to come here and see this, and very rewarding hike with just beautiful, peaceful temples up there. And yeah, so we're gonna head back to the car and It's about a 15-20 minute drive back to Paro, and yeah, we'll probably get lunch there and then head to the festival this afternoon. So we've just driven through the town of Paro to the Paro Dzong, which is right along the river here. And one of the main reasons that I wanted to come to Bhutan during this week is it's the Tsechu paro, which is one of the big festivals that they have here. There'll be lots of singing, dancing, everyone's dressed up in their best dress in these beautiful, colorful outfits. And we're gonna head up to the courtyard up here and hopefully see some of the celebrations where they'll be dancing and wearing masks. And we'll be celebrating the birth of Guru Rinpoche, we just visited the Tiger's Nest, which is where he came and defeated the demons of this valley and brought Buddhism to Bhutan in the 8th century. So let's head up here and check it out. Been this beautiful walk up, and we're on the other side of the fortress here in this like massive courtyard. And just as we were walking through this like lane of flags, there were just so many colorfully dressed people walking down and walking up, and everyone's just in such beautiful outfits. So I see a huge group over here. Here's some music and some bells, so let's head over here and check it out. We've just made it to the main courtyard here, and there's just tons of people all along the hills, all along like the stadium seating here, and we're just watching some of this Buddhist religious ceremony. We have the Lord of Death in a mask here, and then we have a bunch of animals serving as judges. So it's just a spiritual enactment here with a lot of like religious significance, but everyone's just dressed so colorfully. And then there's these long lines of people that are going past the Lord of Death looking for blessings. So we're gonna hang out here, watch some of the dancing, some of the ceremony for a while, but very cool, very cultural, and just so much going on here. There's some more dancing going on here, so we're gonna climb up these stadium seats to try to get a little bit of a higher view. culture and I love festivals, and this was such a unique look at like some of the Bhutanese heritage and history. Some of these dances go back hundreds of years, so there's lots of tradition and culture and such beautiful masks, beautiful dresses, and then when they're banging the instruments, it's very cool. So each district here has their own Tsechu during different times of the year, but the paro, the Punakha, and the Thimphu ones are the biggest. And so this one's in April, Thimphu's in October, and this goes on for 4 days of dancing and going in for blessings. And yeah, there's lots of historical and spiritual significance to this, and it's very cool to see so many people coming out and everyone's dressed in their best dresses. We spent about almost 2 hours here just watching a lot of the dances, and then different ceremonies will come in and come out, and then there's horns and there's a bunch of monks around, and just such a cool festival to be here and experience. So if you're planning a trip to Bhutan, definitely see if you can come during one of these Tsechus, because it's just like a very vibrant Bhutanese culture here. Beautiful walk down from the festival past the Paro Zong, the Paro fortress here, and we just have some snow-capped peaks off in the distance. The sun is just beaming through the mountains, and it's just a beautiful night to end my time here in Bhutan. So yeah, with the festival, that concludes my 3 days in the Kingdom of Bhutan, and this place was just a magical treat. You have the snow-capped Himalayas just surrounding you, all these beautiful valleys, amazing homes, incredible fortresses, and it's just so cool that it's like a kingdom. We were able to see the king's house, going inside some of the fortresses, seeing some of the shrines, seeing some of the Buddhist heritage religion here, and going up to the Tiger Monastery was amazing, going to the festival, going up over the pass, just so many cool, delightful little things here in this small little country tucked away between China and India, and I absolutely loved my time. And huge thank you to Flying Fox Bhutan for just setting everything up for me. Like, they helped me out so much with the visa, they helped me out with the tourism fee, and just booked all of my hotels, transport. I had a private driver, private tour guide the past 3 days, and so they were able to just take me wherever I wanted to go, whatever I wanted to see, and they made it all happen. And especially wanting to do the festival here, they made sure that my itinerary included the festival, so I was able to see that for the end of the tour here, which was definitely one of the highlights. Just seeing the dancing, seeing the culture, and seeing just so many of the Bhutanese people out, like dressed so nice with beautifully colored homemade garments, and yeah, it was beautiful. So tomorrow morning I'm off really early. I have like a 7 a.m. flight to Kathmandu, and if I get a window seat and if the weather cooperates, it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful flight patterns in the world, because you just fly from Paro, one of the most dangerous airports in the world. You just fly only like an hour and a half over to Kathmandu, and you're just jumping over the Himalayas. So you should be like right up there with some of the highest peaks in the world. And yeah, so I'm hoping I get a window seat, and if I do, I'll show you guys that tomorrow. But if not, I'll be in Kathmandu the next couple days before heading off to Pakistan. So yeah, but hope you guys enjoyed Bhutan. Hope you guys can make it here sometime. Would have loved to spend a couple more days here, but just the tourism fee, the sustainable development fee of $200 a day is just super steep, but super glad I was able to make it while I was in this region of the world. So hope you guys make it to Bhutan sometime. Hope you guys get to see this magical kingdom tucked away in the Himalayas. So yeah, we'll see you guys in Kathmandu. Later.